Hey, Tzu. This is Sean. This is your walk cycle. Looking pretty good. It's a walk. There's feet. They're doing stuff. It's looping. What should you do next? Let's see. What I do. The feet are almost there. There's a few little weird things where this back foot kind of goes up and down here. And then this foot being so sharp on the end is gonna, it just looks painful. Like, I don't think humans could probably bend that way. Oh, look, your back foot over here is good. So let's just middle mouse drag that over. And then I think that might be good. And then, so right here, if you watch just this like shoe shape, it like slides back. Let me double check that I'm recording. I am. Okay. See, it's sliding backwards a little. I'm going to middle mouse drag that over. Actually, I'll delete that key. Because your keys are not on whole frames, so I want to be careful about that. It looks like that's a problem throughout your NM. So I might, usually I just, depends on the situation, I'll just kind of clean stuff up. I have your whole rig selected. That's gonna break it. This one's a little bit trickier to fix because, like, if it's in this case, you can just set a key on 24, right-click on 23, and delete. So let me clean the easy ones up really quick. That one's hard. That one's easy. It's this. We know we like 6. Okay, let's clean up the rest. I always like to clean up scenes before I move forward, so it's probably these extra keys. Okay, I think we're good now. Okay, so now we got like the whole rig selected. I got this nice like clean timeline deal. And then I fix that back foot so it's not sliding back. And then this foot's kind of the same deal. But it's sliding forward, so it's not technically, it's not as big of a deal. So I think we're probably okay there. And then this has this down and up kind of issue happening. I would probably just grab this and just set another key right here so it's a little smoother. Can work on that later. Okay, so the other, what would I do next? So your hips should be moving a little bit. I think you started playing with this, but you kind of ran into some issues, so you just left it alone because you didn't want it to get really kind of worse, which is fine. We want to do some ribcage stuff. Your arms, I would switch your arms to over here on the in the channel box, shoulder orientation. If you set these to 0, I'm just kind of moving it back to where it was. And then when we go and animate your rib cage, that didn't work. Maybe it didn't save or something. Yep, it's not keying. What is happening? I think this is. You were saying something wasn't working. Something's not right. I agree. It's not staying. It's not holding the keys. You have auto key on. Something weird is going on over here. Let's go maybe unlock. Nope. I'm doing a video.
Okay, I'm just putting laundry down.
Maybe unmute selected. Here we go. It's muted. It was muted. We got it. I think that's what you ran into earlier. I don't know how many of your controls are muted, but the shoulders were. Looks like maybe you might have just like selected this stuff and then unmute selected. Here we go. Okay. On accident, and just because you just do things on accident sometimes. Humans do, I mean. Okay, so now I got shoulders selected. Orientation 0. It's keyed. Now if I move this chest, the arms kind of stay still. So that's going to help a lot when we go into cleaning the torso up. And in your reference, it looks like the hands were more like clasped on top of each other. So I'd start by like building that pose. We might want to do IK, but let's just play with this first. See what we can get. And you had your hands together. I'm not sure if they were like one on top of the other or not, but I'm just doing it. Okay, so now I'm going to select just the arms. Because I know, because I mess with stuff, they like unfold right away. Delete all these keys. So the arms are staying together the whole time. So now we can start doing a pass on the hips and the feet. So what I would do first is pay attention in like front view. This is probably really straight. So when you, I think I've got your reference up over here. It's kind of easy to, let's see if we can tell from this view. Okay, so your upper body, I think this is you, I'm not really sure, but whatever. So your upper body's doing this leaning to the left, and then if you like drew a line looking at this straight down, it's more over your foot, and then your weight is over here, kind of this direction, and then when you're on the other foot, balancing, it's the opposite, you know? Sorry. Here, here. Where'd it go? Yeah, so there's like a real strong like left and right. Maybe a straight line from here. You might be out from the foot a little bit to compensate, but just to over exaggerate it a little. It's more like that. So when we're on, and the extreme is the passing position, so it's like in here somewhere. You'll be more like this, and then on this passing it'll be the other direction. And then, so I'm seeing the arm. I wonder if we were better off with the other mode. Set this back to 1. Key it. Yeah, we're fine, because the arms stay together there. So yeah, I'll keep it where the default was 1, so keep it on 1, and just repose the hands here. And then, so you'll have to go back in and make sure the hip position is good. So these are your two key poses, the extremes, you know, here and here. And then during the walk, it's going to change different amounts. But I'm just using those two posts as a guide. And then it's going to be the same thing for rotation, which is probably mostly object, mostly Z. I don't know if I showed people this. I probably have, just to go over it again. If you hold the control, so I'm holding like E and then left clicking, and you get these little hotbox options. It was on world, which is like just the viewport, but object shows the shape of the character. It's more obvious from like this way. So it like matches like this. The rotation matches that position. But yeah, so if I hold E and then left click and go to world, now it's like matching the world. So it stays still regardless of where I put the thing, the object. So that's just what I did. I forgot if I showed people that. Okay, rotation. It's probably mostly Z. So it's the same deal here where I'm going to use these as my two extremes and then kind of get in between the two as a beginning point. And then hips. So you also want to watch your hips. So usually the foot that is weighted is higher, and the foot that's not holding the weight of the character is lower. So usually when you're in this position, it's here. So right now it'll be in between because the weight is on both feet, and then here it'll be down because the weight's transferring to this foot. And then same deal, it's still going to be down, still going to be down. Now it's going to be kind of in between, and now it's going to go the other way, other way, other way, and then back to middle. And then I might go from there and clean the curves up. Looks like there's oh, this is in step key. See how it's straight and then pops up? I'm just going to auto curve that guy. It's probably the same on everything. I'll just do it for all these objects. Auto. So front view. Okay. That's probably the rotation needs work from there. Rotation, object, rotate Y, it's the same deal. We have our two extremes. I usually will end up getting more detailed on exactly how this curve works, but in general, we know what our key frames are. We can just get it to be smooth for starters. There's a problem here. Middle mouse drag that over. Doing that, go middle mouse dragging 1 to 47 makes these two match, makes the hips match, but it'll break the feet. See how it's like, oh no! Just translate it forward. Because we just dragged all the data over. So now I can go back to front view. Should be good now. There's still an inconsistency between your two poses. So that foot is down there, and it's up there, so I'm just gonna drop this guy down. Oh boy, it's getting crazy over here. Drop that guy down. Okay. Now, so it's starting to get there. I think this is a good next step for your walk cycle. I think this will get you at least in a better place. You might start doing like, from there you can start doing some more details on the chest or some secondary on the hands. But this would be where I'd want to take your walk cycle next before starting and doing some secondary animation on the head or the chest or anything like that. All right, so there's some feedback for you. Hopefully you have time to get to this. It's up to you if you want to tackle it or not. I think this is probably good for the class already, but now you know how to clean it up. All right, 2, see you later.